This episode of The Static Traveller is brought to you by Bizarre Spice. Their family is taking great pride and pleasure in creating quality seasonings, dry rubs and blended herbs for over 25 years in the downtown farmers market of Kansas City, Missouri. Bizarre Spice take great care in bringing spice blends from generations of their families overseas to our families at home. At Bizarre Spice, they are always excited about creating fresh products and maintaining the best ingredients for kitchens and homes. They're blessed to continue a tradition of delivering quality and quantity to all. Bizarre Spice is where great seasonings meet you at your front door. Their spices and herbs are affordable and unique, and they welcome all buyers. So give them a try and visit them at their website www.bizarrespice.com. That's www.bizarrespice.com. I also want to give a special shout out to Life Less Ordinary, a fantastic company who sell personalised handmade travel bracelets and gifts in Brighton, where 10% of all their net profit goes towards charity. So you can look your best and do your part all at the same time. These guys have done me the massive honour in teaming up with me, the Static Traveller, for my 1k giveaway on Instagram. So thank you so much everyone for following. We'll be giving away personalised coordinates bracelets to 2 lucky winners, so look out for that giveaway coming up. And also check them out on Facebook, Instagram and their website www.lifelessordinary.co.uk. All the links will be in the description. So thanks for listening, hope you enjoy the episode and check them out. Thank you. Now that's over, let's get on with the show. Hello and welcome to The Static Traveller with me, James. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of The Static Traveller, the podcast where I speak to travellers of the past and the present from around the globe and let them tell you in their own words about their adventures throughout this amazing world. Now, today's guests on The Static Traveller, and that's right, I said guests, are travel couple known as CountryDiggers. But separately they are known as Vivian and Şahin. I
Hi.
hope I got that right.
Sorry.
So, Vivian is originally from Colombia,
Yes.
but currently lives in Turkey. And Vivian is the creator of La Ruta de...
La
I want
Rola.
to make this right. La Rola.
Uh-huh.
See, that's the Scottish coming out in me. So that's La Roja de la... Wait a minute.
La Ruta de la Rola.
La Ruta de la Rola. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I was getting there. Travel blog, and you're a former cruise ship crew member. Is that correct as well?
Correct.
Brilliant. You've been sailing since about 2010, you said?
2010.
Yeah. And Şahin is from Turkey, and he is a sound technician, so he can help me in the post edit here a bit. Who you've worked on some amazing shows, haven't you? So why don't you tell some people, some of the shows that you've worked on?
I don't know where to start about that. It's been a long time when I started this job. It was 2012 when I do that first time, and then after 3 years I go there again to make that Survivor stuff.
So Survivor, that's quite a big American show, isn't it? It's not really something over here in the UK wise, but Survivor.
Do you have Survivor in UK? I don't know actually.
I don't know if we have it in the UK. It's not something I've definitely heard of it, and I know it's a massive show. Is it not? It's quite big stateside, isn't it? Survivor.
Actually, it was in the Dominican Republic.
All right, okay.
It's Turkish actually.
Oh, is it a Turkish show?
Yes, Turkish crew. It was a Turkish let's say, Turkish season of the Survivor. It's
Alright,
not
okay.
about the USA, to be honest.
Okay. And you're also a former crew member as well, aren't you?
Yeah, but it was short. It was 2018. I start, and then I go to my second contract, and just the coronavirus thing happened.
Okay. So why don't you guys tell everyone how you've met and just a little bit more about yourselves, and then we can take it from there.
Okay, so hi everyone. um, well, we met on a cruise ship, like you said before. That was last year, at the end of the year, by the way. And we were sailing through the Mediterranean, so we were like all over Italy, Spain, and France. What I used to do on a cruise ship, I was an international hostess for Spanish and Portuguese guests. And Şahin was working in the theater as a sound technician. Basically, like you said, like I've been working on cruise ships forever, since 2010, and obviously with some breaks in between. So I've been around a little bit, sailing through the waters. What about you?
Yeah, about me, it was short. Actually, I started in Europe. In my first contract, it was, let's say, 1.5 month, maybe two. Then we go through Brazil. Then we came back to Europe again in my first contract. Then in my second contract, uh, let's say the best thing in the world happened, and I met with Vivian, and
That's cute.
yeah, we are here now.
So what's it like, on the cruise ships? You hear all these different stories about, you know, some people go on it and absolutely love it, other people absolutely hate it. But you said you have done it, Vivian, you've done it for nearly 10 years now, and
Yeah.
and Sahin, you said this is your second contract you were on. What's it like on the cruise ships for someone if they wanted to travel that way?
Well, everything you heard is true. Starting. I mean, as a guest, if you want to go on a cruise ship, it's ideal in the sense that you can just have a taste of every single place and not worry about having to book extra hotels or trains or planes. So it's very comfortable to have like a small, diverse vacation, let's say it that way. In terms of a crew member, things are a little bit different because obviously we're working. We can go out, we can see the world, we can enjoy the places, but we have to work, and it's a 24/7 hours work. So we have to be on pretty much all the time for a number of months. Can be 4, can be 6, given 7 a year, depends on the contract that you signed. You can love it or hate it. Honestly, there's no parameter to classify it. You can love it or hate it. I initially loved it, then it just over time it just wears off. So there's a point that I just started to miss land, to miss monotony, and just like do normal stuff, because
Yeah.
it's a lot of to take, and you just like you have no land, you have no house, it's just international waters always in your home address. So for me it was an amazing experience. I really sailed pretty much all the amazing places. I've been in the UK, Iceland, I've been in the Longyearbyen, Norway, Brazil, North America. I've been everywhere, and I really, really loved it. But there was a point that just you have to stop somehow. Well,
Yeah.
that's me.
And when you get to these places, I mean, is it a set amount of time that you get there? I take it then, because obviously other people that travel, they pick their destination and then they spend the time there that they choose. Whereas I imagine this is very different. You've got a set amount of time. you won't be able to spend that full time when you're at dock out exploring. So how did you decide what to do? How did you like, decide what was the most important thing to see in each country, that kind of thing?
Well, it all depends on the itinerary. So some places are like if you go to the Caribbean, there's not much to do, but just to go and like enjoy the sun and maybe some cocktails and what else. So over time, that's not really like appealing always to do. As a crew member, obviously, if you go as a guest, you will go every time, because if you go to sunny places, it's because you're not really getting it at home. But other places, like if you go to North Europe, let's say, I go there like every week or every 2 weeks. So I do have the opportunity to choose like where I want to go and see the places. Obviously, it's not the same amount of time that a guest has, because they have, like, for example, a day, or maybe if we have an overnight, maybe 2 days to see the place. I do have to choose very well where I want to go, uh, and if it's worth it, because I don't have a lot of time. Well, at least in my job, I can have 4 or 5 hours. Shahin's job, well, he will start in the afternoon, and six in the afternoon, so he will have pretty much the whole day to go and explore. That was not my case. So, but then we're going back like every now and then, every 2 weeks or every week. So we do have more opportunities to
Yeah.
explore, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So what was it that made you initially decide to go to cruise ships? So most people would then decide, if they want to travel, they would go maybe to a country, maybe do some bar work or something like that, and then move on from there. What made you decide to go for a cruise ship?
What made us choose the cruise ship?
Yeah, what made you decide to go and work on a cruise ship?
That's an interesting question. So, in my case, let's say it was an accident. I really didn't know um, there were cruise ships, to be honest. It was just beautiful ignorance 10 years ago. Yeah, it's true. Because somebody just mentioned it at the end of one internship I was doing, and somebody said, "Oh, maybe I'm gonna go and work on a cruise ship." I was like, "Who wants to go and work on a cruise ship?" I mean, all I had in my mind is like never going out of the ship and just sailing all the way. It didn't sound appealing. However, I
Mhm.
tried and I really liked it, and it was completely different from what I thought. And Shahin,
For me, it was like happened just in a few minutes. I just get a phone call from my friend. He asked me like, "We have a job. You want to go?" I said, "What's that?" It's on the cruise ship. Like, you will work as a sound technician, like how you do on the land. You just gonna work in the cruise ship, and you will have time to go out every day. Like, it's good, and there's a good money if you compare with the Turkey conditions. I said,
Mhm.
okay, let's do it. Then we start things. Then I go. It's actually I like it in the
Yeah.
beginning, but
So
after uh, after months, it's you know
difficult.
yeah, it's pushing your head like every day the same thing. And we had the shows. We had the 3 shows per day, and each week we've been doing the same thing, like same shows every
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
same time, same shows,
different
same
port.
people. Yeah, yes. The ports are the same also in my season. And
That's true.
yeah, it's after, let's say, 5 months, you start to be crazy.
And how does that work? From a home perspective. So you saying that yours was a complete accident, Vivian.
Hmm.
Shahin, you're saying your friend phoned you up out of the blue. You know, when you decided to then make that step, and it might have been really quick, it might have been something you thought about, but when you decided to make that jump, how was your family in that with it? Were they supportive of you, or did they just say, look, do what you want, kind of thing, or?
Well, in my case, it was new. Like my mom and I, we didn't have a clue how these things work, and we just, I don't know. I usually work and travel at the same time, so I was just giving it a go, and if it works, it works. But then, um, this is an interesting job that you just like you do it once, you do it twice, and you might hate it while you're on it, and you go home and you miss it. So even though sometimes you hate it, you just keep coming back. It's like a yeah, like a drug, pretty much. So for me, it was just a testing that lasts too long, let's say. And for you?
For me, I think I don't have that option to talk about this because it was short. I just made one, then in the second, I'm already full. Well, no more, please.
So you just, was it kind of same day for you, Shahin?
No, maybe I just get bored fast, like in the first contract. In the second contract, I just go like to make more money, a little bit more money, because I go to my second contract like, okay, it's my last, and uh, just after 3 months, I already talked with my company to stop working in the cruise ships. I already confirmed to stop, and was like this. All my family, about my family, they don't care about me, what I'm doing. They are
That's
just
so
standing there,
sad.
like, like, okay, go ahead, what you want to do. It's
So,
up to you. They are thinking like me about that.
so how does it work with the cruise ships then with the contracts? So you're saying you can sign up for a set period of time.
Hmm.
If you decide that you don't want to do the full contract, are you able to leave before then, or is there sanctions for it? Or
Okay, so depends on the company. Some companies, when you embark and you disembark and you're set. In our company, what basically is when you start and you have a frame of time of how long your contract can be. So in my position, that it's international hostess, it's 7 months. Can be less, can be 5, can be 7, or can be 9 tops. Okay. For Shahin, I think it was how many? 9?
10.
Oh, 10. 10 months. So every month with the pay, they will keep a little percentage from you.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's supposed to be like I don't know, like savings kind of thing, but it's also as um, to make sure that like if you decide to go, so that little percentage will be taken away from you. It's definitely it's like a normal job. It's not a jail or anything. You can decide when you want to go. You just have to assume the consequences. So you have to pay your own travel expenses, because once you sign in, you get everything. You get like your flight tickets, and they make sure that you get from home to the ship and from the ship to home. When you decide to go, then it's your responsibility. So, but anyway, they will charge you for it. So you have to pay.
so are you still, given the current situation, obviously, there's no cruises or that running, but is that something you're going to go back to? Is it something you're currently still doing, or are you just looking to, just travel on your own now? Or
Well, our initially idea was to finish the contract. So in normal conditions, we should be still on board until July. I think
July.
it was July. Yeah. So we got disembarked, but it was a massive emergency disembarkation a month ago. So by that time, we were like we decided that it was our last contract, and we just had enough. Like, let's say it's a nice life for single people, young people, let's say younger, let's say,
Yeah.
and we hit a point where we want to just touch down and just start like a normal, traditional common life. And then this happened. So it was like a push to reality, like a faster way to go.
Yeah. So what's next for you guys then? What do you think will happen next? Are you going to continue to travel or?
That will be ideal. The question is when. Because the initial idea was to finish contract and maybe I know it was coming to Turkey anyway, travel through it and then go back to Europe. But then with the current situation, we just don't know when will it be possible to start traveling.
Yeah.
And what's the situation like in Turkey? You know, around the COVID-19. You know, what kind of restrictions have you got in place just now?
I think the situation in Turkey, in general terms, is it's okay. I mean, it's better than other countries, but I'm gonna let Şahin say about it because he speaks Turkish, not me.
Yeah. Actually, it's better to see from out. You know, from inside, it's like we are working on it. Actually, we are thinking on it. What the government trying to do, what is hiding in there, or if there something hiding, hide it, or we are just how to say that, pushing our brains to understand. But the general picture is quiet. Actually, the people are relaxed, and everybody, if you go out, everybody with the mask and the gloves, and everybody trying to respect the social distance kind of thing. And it's something I never see in my life, like some central places, like nobody there, and usually you can't walk in there because of the the crowd, and now there is nobody. And it's actually quite nice, the situation in here.
Yeah, to be honest, because I mean they close like major, like essential spots like supermarkets and things like that, and replace it with online purchasing and takeaways.
Yeah, like deliveries and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes, and also I haven't seen like massive like disturbance, like general like people fighting or anything. No, I haven't seen that. And we're not exactly in quarantine right now, but the government is doing like preventing quarantines during like peak days and holidays. So when there is like let's say this week week we have
in 2 days
the celebration of children kind of thing. So they're doing quarantine to avoid people to going out and celebrate outside their houses, which is pretty smart because they're not trying to stop the economy. They're just trying to keep it running, and but at the same time trying to keep you safe in the way that they can see it's better. So we're fine. So
and how do you think this will impact things like cruises going forward?
I don't know. That's a good question, to be honest. I mean, independently that we're going back or not, it would be nice to see them up and running soon. However, they depend on everything else. It's not an industry that can run on their own. It's they need airports, they need buses, and obviously they need the people to be able to go out of their houses. Unfortunately, it's nothing that they can run online. So so it's quite difficult to see. And just like I saw the news yesterday, just yesterday, the last 3 ships that were running around the world, they just got docked. So
yeah, actually, I seen that story
exactly.
Yesterday.
So I don't know. I mean, I keep tracking the news from different websites, from different companies, and they're saying at the beginning they were like, oh no, we're going up and running in April, and then no, 1st of May, and now like no, June, and probably it's gonna be pushed farther and farther, but we don't know. We hopefully by the end of the year they can go up and
Yeah.
run again, but who knows?
That's what, I was speaking to my wife about this. Like, I don't know when everything will go back to normal, and even when it does, is it going to be still looking over your shoulder? Are you going to
Mm,
constantly feel uneasy now? It's something. It's just we've never seen anything like this before, and I think it's definitely going to change how everything works going forward, and how that has an impact on the travel industry. I follow quite a lot of bloggers and things like that on Instagram, um, and they're saying that that's what they do as a job full time. So they're like travel bloggers, that kind of thing, and
mm,
their revenues all stopping. So it's definitely going to have an impact across the world, because if there's nobody making content, is it going to have an impact on the people that are going to travel? So it's definitely interesting to see how it will develop and how it will change us going forward.
I I think you're right. I mean, I think the way we're gonna behave socially is gonna change forever, at least. And I don't know. Maybe we will. Everybody will start traveling again, but in a different, very different way.
Yeah,
But who knows how?
we just need to wait and see. I need to get you back on the podcast when everything goes back to normal.
Yeah, for sure. Please.
So let's go back to travel a bit. Let's try and forget about the coronavirus now. Um, so Shahin, sorry.
Yeah.
When you spoke about going to the cruise ships, you said it was a phone call that came for your friend.
Yeah.
Do you want a job? And I'm guessing for you, traveling was secondary, and that it was the job mostly that you were looking at.
Uh, Actually, my previous work before the cruise ships was traveling again. Like uh, the all the sound technicians, as you have around you, or if you have a friend like that, all the sound technicians are going around the world or going around the cities in like a in their countries to make the events, to shoot something if they are working on the location sounds, or if they are working live sound, that or the concerts kind of things. uh, we are traveling pretty much. And but the cruise ships are, to be honest, it's another way to travel, like working on the cruise ship, because it's build it to travel. The sound works are just you are going somewhere, working in there. Maybe you have few hours in there. If you have that time, and if you are not so tired, you can see around. Uh, uh, like a little example, I've been in Rio de Janeiro just for 8 hours,
Okay.
and
What
I,
did
I just see that like while I'm working, I have one photo, blurry. That's it.
so what did you get to see in Rio then?
I see nothing actually, because we was running all the day. I had a mixer on my lap with the headphones, like it was dramatic.
That's actually where I take the inspiration from my podcast picture, is the Christ the Redeemer. So that's the picture in my podcast. This is me standing on a Scottish hillside, or with the hands in the air.
Yeah.
Um, that's where I got my inspiration from. So what about you, Vivian? Then, so you did you go to work on the cruise ship to travel, or did you just say it was another job, or have you always had a passion for traveling? Or
For me traveling was primary always. That happened to be connected to work always, thank God. But for me has been always see the world one way or another. Every time I go to a port, if it's new, doesn't matter how tired I was, I just have to go and see it, because I don't know if I'm gonna go back to it or I'm gonna be able to go out to it, because when you work on a cruise ship, even though you go to the port, sometimes it's no guarantee that you can go outside and see them.
Yeah.
So I just took every chance I got to go and see it.
So what you're saying is you're a more dedicated traveller than Şahin.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%, 100%. If I can be traveling all the time, I would. And he will be concentrated in his mixer. So.
So what did you do for work before travel, Şahin? You said you done you were still sound technician. Before you went on the cruise ship, and you had travelled a bit before that as well. But before you became a sound technician, what did you do beforehand?
Yeah, before that, actually, I do nothing because I didn't go to. I have to say that I don't know.
College?
No, yeah, the college. I don't go to college. I'm not educated about the sound. I just grow up from zero to
So
this
you're
position.
self-taught.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry about my English. I'm just trying to explain
No,
myself. And I was 18 years old when I started this work, and it's been 13 years.
Okay.
Yes. I just
And what
figured
about you,
that out.
Vivian?
What?
For me, I started working in summer camps since I was 21, I think. I went to college, and through college, I got connected to summer camps. So I started working in Colombia and also going around to the States, to Peru, and everywhere. Like, honestly, for traveling, I never said no. So any job, doesn't matter which kind was, I was just saying yes all the time. So I did a lot of summer camps going on, internships in hotels, hostels, um, and then I just got hooked on cruise ships and got stuck. And
Brilliant.
good stuck though. So.
And then you met Şahin.
And then I met Şahin.
Yay!
So who made the first move then? Who said hello first? Who?
Actually, it's a funny story. Because we used to work in the same department, entertainment. So it was during a crew party, and I was it was a nice one, right? It was a really, really nice one. They usually they're not that good. And I just dropped my beer. It was brand new. I was happily dancing, and I dropped my beer, and then Mr. Şahin just offered me his. I was like, oh, thank you. And that was the beginning of it all. We just connected.
Yeah.
That's it. He offered me his beer, and then we just started dancing together, and the rest is history. Yeah.
So what was it that you two you talk about a strong connection to traveling. Vivian, you say about traveling is that was at the forefront of everything that you wanted to do, and Şahin, you said that before you went on the cruise ships and started doing traveling that way, you were still traveling, as a sound technician.
Mm-hmm.
What was it that pulled you to travel? What was it that made you want to travel?
Just, I don't know. For me, it was just to see the world. Like, just to be able to see it all and see all the iconic places, all the movies just coming to, like, and see in real life. That was one of my biggest dreams, and I've done it. I've seen those places that I used to see in the movies and said, "Oh wow, I'm here." It's crazy. So that was the major force for me to travel.
What about you, Şahin?
For me, that was a dream actually, because when I started this work, I didn't imagine something like this. I can grow up like this. I can go around the world or something. I just imagine like some domestic flights. Let's see some parts of Turkey, kind of things, and then day by day that's start to spread. Then we start to go the other countries like Greece, which is closer to us. Then uh, we yeah we go to Ukraine the second. Then I start to go Dominican Republic. Then it just get crazy. And then in one point I remember I said like, what I'm doing here, like when I came here like this, I was just doing the cables in the storage. Then that just happened.
So what happened in the Dominican Republic then? What happened?
I nothing wrong in there. I just quit. In Dominican Republic, we've been actually they are still shooting the Turkish Survivor and Survivor Greece, and also a couple of Exathlon. I don't know. Do you know about Exathlon? It's a Survivor and let's say Big Brother kind reality show. It's mixed.
All right, okay.
Yeah, it's they're making competition on the some parkours, and they have two different live concept living concept, like one team in the jungle and one team in the great house, like with the pool, everything, jacuzzi, whatever you want. And this concept is we shoot in 2017 the first time.
Okay.
Then we just grow up in there. Then we start to take another projects, like actually the same project but in other countries. We start to shoot. Then after one point we just grow up so much. Then I said, okay, it's too much work, I quit. Yeah, I'm not lazy, it was too much. I've been working 20 hours per day.
I mean, the two years you've done traveling as individuals, but also together. Because you're saying you've done a contract each by yourselves, and Shahin, you said you've done numerous different countries before you gave Vivian your beer.
Exactly.
So what do you prefer? Do you prefer traveling in a group, or do you prefer traveling individually, or do you see benefits to both, that you enjoy both of them, or?
That's an interesting question. Let's say there's benefits for both traveling in group and individually. Depends on the zone also, whatever you're going, and what's your purpose. Let's say if you're just to have fun, just to relax and chill, definitely a group to travel is nice to go with, just because you have company and you can just share more moments in family or friends zone, let's say. But in my case, if I want to go and explore a city and just to see it and discover it, let's say two, it's enough, because you can just manage time in a different way. If you have more people, and especially in my case, that it has always been like a tight schedule, like you have 2 3 4 hours and you need to make the most out of it. And if I have 3 or 4 people to manage, and let's say we all stop in one point and we all have different interests, so obviously traveling gets a little slower, let's say. So for me, it depends. If I'm discovering two, it's good, or by myself, it depends.
And what about you, Shahin?
For me, I prefer to go alone everywhere. Just I make the I make the difference with Vivian because uh, we can manage our time, like she said, and we can plan everything how we want. And I really don't like to go somewhere with the group, and because everybody trying to make different things and everybody have different idea. Most of the time it's been like this. If you don't plan from before, like a certain plan, if you don't have,
Yeah,
actually,
everybody wants to do everything, and you end up doing nothing because everybody wants to go. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, for me, is the best one with Vivian, and the second alone.
Oh.
So outside of traveling, what other passions do you have? In Shahan, you can't say sound technician or sound anything to do with sound. You need another passion. What else do you like? What else are you into?
I don't understand.
Passions, other hobbies like furniture transforming kind of thing.
For now, but I don't.
So,
Sorry about my English. I really don't understand
no.
this question.
Like
So
hobbies.
what other hobbies do you have? Do you like football? Do you like
Hobbies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got it now. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Uh, my hobbies are actually I'm doing stuff at home. Like I'm fixing something. I really don't like to call the service from outside to fix something basic at home, and I don't like the football or PlayStation or kind of the video games.
Yeah.
I'm just I just love to watch movies or fixing something at home or
Handyman.
making the cables, painting something, this kind of things.
It's true.
Yeah. If you leave me, I can make like 1 year long the cables like without getting bored.
Yeah.
So you like making cables.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And what about you, Vivian?
Oh well. I like traveling, of course, and I would say I like to write. Writing, photography, and movies. I will say I could spend my whole day doing.
So you mentioned writing there, so let's talk a wee bit about that. About your blog.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a bit about that. Where did that start? How did you get into blogging?
My blog has, I think, it's almost a year and a half, and I like writing. Writing has always been like a way to just just to express myself. I haven't been always being good with words. I'm mostly like the quiet child of the room, let's say, and it depends on the people, obviously, and so I just like writing, and so, I don't know. I think since the whole internet thing, I just started to see that you can just show the world what you do, and I just start like my blog just to, I don't know, just to try something new. I call it La Ruta de la Rola because I mean it's like the route of La Rola. La Rola, it's the person who is from Bogota, which I'm from, so it all makes sense. It sounded local, and I wanted to do it in my first language, which is Spanish. So it's a Spanish blog, let's say. Um, and basically, what I share is like all the crazy thoughts and adventures that I had through traveling. It's basically like advice of what not to do while traveling, because usually it's like something like that could have gone really, really wrong. So yeah, that's the whole idea of the blog.
So tell me a bit a bit more about Colombia. So, Shahin, apologies, I've been to Turkey, so I know little bits about that. But Colombia, to me is somewhere I'd love to go,
Mm-hmm.
but I would never see it as a place that I could take my family on holiday. I wouldn't see it as like a family destination. So tell me a bit about Colombia. Is it safe? Is it changed from what we would see on the news kind of thing?
Well, let's say I really uh, that's a fun question. Just because I don't exactly, I mean, I haven't been in Colombia as a citizen for the last 10 years. So I just go and
Okay.
visit. So I actually get the same information that you guys have through the news. However, I did spend a couple years at home not long ago. And let's say it was a dangerous place to visit. That's not a secret. There was a small time, let's say a small time from 2005 until no 2005. That's oh yeah, it was like 2010 until a couple years ago, 2018. That it was really a nice place to go, even with your
Yeah.
family, and just like you could go and be safe, despite the news. Because anyway, doesn't matter what Colombia does, if it's good or bad, it's always going to be shown the bad parts. So to be frank and honest, we're not exactly famous for the good things. So so through that amount of time, it was so good that everybody actually there was a lot of foreigners that just went visit and stayed, and brought their families and actually started a life in Colombia. So that means that it wasn't that bad as it was shown. Unfortunately, now, well, with the new government and the new politics and things like that, things are not bright enough. Let's say they look alike mostly like way like years before, when there
Mm.
was whole chaos and things. So that's unfortunate because we saw like a quick grow in tourism and life quality, and it was looking very well. But unfortunately, now things doesn't seem that bright, and the whole virus and situation is not helping. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I think it's all like it's like every single country. You just have to go and
Experience it for yourself
exactly,
kind of thing.
because
Yeah.
anyway, the experience of every country is subjective. Not everybody has the same experience in every country. So I can say it is it good or bad, and you can't take my word of it. You have to go and say it. Otherwise, you'll say, "Oh, Vivian told me it was a nice place," and no, this is the horrible. See what I mean? So you just have to you have to take the chance. You might get lucky and have a wonderful experience and call me liar, or you say, "Oh, well, she did say the truth," you know.
Yeah.
So,
So what's your this is to both of you. So what's the most memorable moment? Out of all the journeys that you have had, what is your most breathtaking moment when traveling?
oh, mine is easy. Iceland. We get to see the aurora, the northern lights
Yeah.
once. Our
Yeah, yeah,
last
yeah.
our last cruise, going back to UK season, we got lucky enough to see the northern lights, and it was just out of this mind, out of the world. It's just beautiful.
And
You
what about you, Shahan?
For me, was in LA, in Los Angeles. We just got to Venice Beach, and I didn't know there is the Venice Beach. I just understand that when we arrived there, then we just start to shooting something again, like like always. Then I said to them like, okay, you go to shoot something. I'm not taking sound. Just leave me alone a little bit. Then uh, I sit somewhere and I just burn my cigarettes. Then I just start to watch the people. And it's not a big thing, but the Los Angeles and that part is my something like dream, was my dream. And
Yeah.
I really like that. Like I really like that place. Like I really like that that rich culture, and you can see all the things around. Like what I see when I was there, it was a Sunday, and someone was making painting in there, and the other one was making like a graffitis, and there was some ballerines, and in the other side someone was making the breakdance, and the all this kind of the social activities was going around. And I just said like, yes, it is. Like, yes, it was my wow point.
So what's the that's your most breathtaking moment there. So what's the scariest moment you've had while traveling?
In my case, I had many. To be honest, I had too many. Oh, okay. Number one will be my first time in Paris. I had one chance and one and only. I didn't have money. I had to learn some. But my best friend gave me 100 euros for the whole day, including traveling, like the train and everything, which is nothing. And after the train and all the small expenses, I had, I don't know, like 20 euros just to be safe and everything. By, let's say, my train to come back, like go back to the ship, was 2:45, and at 2:20 I was bargaining with a bicycle to take me to the Eiffel Tower, so that was not wise. Yep. So once I got to the Eiffel Tower, I took my selfie, obviously, because it was important. I ran through it, and then I only had like 10 minutes to be on the train to go to the ship. And at that point, I had only 10 euros or so. I finally got to the cab. The cab happily drove me as fast as possible. I had to run through Galeries Lafayette. I got to the train, and as soon as I stepped in, the train left.
Oh, so you made it
just like on time, like pretty on time. If I missed that train, I didn't have a phone. I didn't have nothing. No money, no phone, no cards, nothing. I would be like stranded in Paris, lovely place.
That was a close call.
Yeah, but.
And what about you, Şahin?
Mine was in the Dominican Republic. One day, we just rent bicycles. With one of my friends. Then we check from the map where is the closer, and we didn't check the what we have in there. We just choose one place to go to see around, and I check with the application that says like 9 kilometers. We said, wow, 9 kilometers is okay. Then we start to roll the bicycles. Just after like 45 minutes, we noticed that like all the way like a ramp down, like impossible to reach. It's like a mountains, and you can imagine the Dominican Republic is like everywhere is the mountains. You need to go up, down, like it's a really tough place to reach somewhere. And then we just stop to to think what we're gonna do. Then one pickup came and said like, oh, okay, Venir, like come with us. Then we just hop in. They bring us that place. Then we understand that it's not 9 kilometers. That's 35 kilometers. They say like is too far. It's not 9 kilometers. Then we said okay. We just arrived, and we start to discover the place. Then we understand there is nothing. Like really nothing. Just the car repair shops and some the fishmans. They're just making the companies about the fishing, that kind of things. Then we say like, okay, there is a place to take some photos. We just start to go there. Then we just notice that the color of the people start to go so black. I'm not racist, don't get me wrong, but then we notice that there is a Haitian neighborhood, and people start to make the sign to us like, go back, and we just didn't understand. In the end of the road, someone came to us and he said like, if you don't want to die, just go back and save your life. Then we just turn back.
That's
We start to run with the bicycles. Then the people looking at us like to kill, and people start to scream like, go, 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 like, don't stop here, like, why you are here, like, two white guy, really white guy in the middle of the black guys, like, both. Then when we get out of the neighborhood, we understand what we did. We just realize that, and the people start to ask like, why you get there, do nobody stops you while you're entering, like, we said, how we know, like, we are just tourists. Then we said, oh, okay, thanks God. We lost nothing.
So how many countries have you visited? Either together or separately.
together. 4.
Yeah.
5. No. 5.
5.
Yeah, 5. Separate, I think I around, not too many. I wish it was more. It's like 14 or 15, or I think, on my own. You?
Mine is also something like that, maybe less, maybe 10 or 11, something. I need to cut.
You?
I don't know, not so much.
James?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm even worse than the two of you, so I'm about 9. I think I'm about the 9-10 mark.
Oh,
So yeah, I need to expand my horizons a bit.
I know.
The furthest I've been is Jamaica.
Nice.
So yeah, been Jamaica. I've done that was for my honeymoon. We done New York and then Jamaica.
Nice.
So that was amazing. That was really amazing. Definitely go back in a heartbeat.
Definitely.
So do you think you guys will ever stop traveling at all?
I wish not. I hope not. Well, it all depends on the governments and airplanes and everything. But I wish. No, I hope no.
Right. So the next part is I would do like a little question from a little girl. However, she's not giving me a question today. So what I'll do is I'll just give you a question that I ask quite a lot of people that come on the podcast. So have you guys ever been to Scotland at all?
Come again?
Have you ever been to Scotland?
Yes. Edinburgh and Inverness, and there's another one nearby, Invergordon. That one.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Şahin, you been as well? Yeah.
No.
No.
I've never been in there.
So you need to get over to Scotland.
I know.
Yeah.
We need to go and find the Loch Ness. So.
Find Nessie.
Yeah, I tried. It happened.
You need to speak to some of the fishermen. Right. So the next part is my favourite part of the podcast, and I kind of spoke to you about it before we came on, or before we started recording. So it's what I call story time.
Uh-huh.
So this is where I completely hand over to you guys and say, you know what, you take us on a journey. One place. Where would you say that people need to go? So you tell us about your favourite adventure, and I'll I'll just shut up. I'll sit in the corner and just listen. So I'll hand it over to you now. So why don't you take us on our journey, and introduce to us where it is you're going to take us.
Interesting. So many. Okay. The best place to visit, to be honest, just because once you step foot on it, is being like home. Like everything just it's just great, like colors and even the smells. You can see diversity in normal situation, obviously, and you just see chaos and organization at the same time. That is Turkey.
Oh, thank you.
It's true. So once you step in, basically you just feel warm. You can go and see every single corner of this country just because it has a lot of history to tell. It's not only about like music or food, which is great, by the way. It's just to see a big part of history in the world. Not only like from ruins and beautiful places like Cappadocia. It's just to be uh, nearby to a place that you can tell something big happened here. Um, just in the morning, just to wake up and just to hear like the chanting of the mosques, the ladies in the windows just to dusting off the carpets, the smell of chai every morning, and the magnificent Turkish breakfasts are just crazy to tell. By the way, it's not safe for any normal stomach because they're too big and spicy, but they're just wonderful. And you just fell in love with everybody, even the people. The people are just really, really nice. In my case, I don't really speak Turkish. My Turkish is like hello and goodbye. But and even though you can't properly communicate with the locals, they will just find a way to understand you. They will find either signals or body signs, movements, anything. They will call a friend to make sure they understand what you're trying to say, and they will make sure you go to the place you want to go. um, you can spend a week or two or a month, and it will be amazing. It will be just spectacular, just to because every day there's something new to try. There's nothing repetitive. You just like every single household is different. The culture changes also, even though they're like very in some places they're very strict, but from town to town they tend to change. Some more strict than others, but with the culture also changes the views. You can see sunny places, you can see very structured, and a lot of older buildings. You can go through colorful streets with houses with different colors, like a rainbow happening. Or if you still go to Cappadocia, you will see the air balloons, which is something I need to go and I'm missing to see.
Yeah, that's on my bucket list as well.
I know.
Cappadocia is. I've been pestering my wife for about 2 years. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Still not happened yet, but it will happen at one point.
It was supposed to happen this vacation for us, but we're here. We can try later. So that's my place.
Mine is some green place, like with the 1,000 different trees and 10 different color of the seas. Let's say ocean. I think you guess now. Where is it? And the people are really warm in there, and they are always trying to help you, like they are taking you as a brother or sister, and the activities are, you can't imagine how many, and from one side to the other you can find 7 days 24 hours activities and the nice things to swim, and there is always hot. You can go always, like, it doesn't matter which season, just you just need to be careful about the rain. I'm calling there my second country is like yeah, Dominican Republic. I really love that place. I spent so much time in there, and I really love that. And I can advise to people to go there to spend time. I don't know, it can be 3 days. It depends about the person. If you like the nature and that kind of things, you can spend more, like 3 weeks, 1 month, I can say, just like that.
Amazing.
Mm.
Right. Well, thank you very much for taking us on the journeys.
You're welcome.
Thank you too.
So there is one more part of the show. All right. Now, what I would normally do is I would normally ask you some quick fire questions.
Mhm.
All right. However, I'm going to change it slightly for this episode because this is my first travel couple.
Ha.
All right. So I need to be able to trust you though. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask one of you the questions, and then the other one has to guess the answers that the other one gave.
Okay.
All right. So you can pick who does what. So who wants to guess?
You. I guess.
Okay. So Şahin, I'll ask you the questions. All right.
Okay.
Vivian, I need you to cover your ears. I don't want you to cheat.
Yeah. I'll take it away. Let's go.
Right, so Şahin, you can tell me when she's covered her ears, and you can do a wee sound check.
Okay.
Vivian, can you hear me?
Yes. Vivian. You said Vivian. I just thought, like, can you hear me?
Can Vivian hear me?
No.
No. Right. Okay. So
now
let's
it's
go.
impossible.
So when you're traveling, all right.
Okay.
What is your travel essential? So what must you have with you at all times?
I don't understand. Sorry, I'm really sorry.
Right. So so when you're traveling,
Uh-huh.
when you're out and about, what can you not travel without? So what must you have with you?
Oh, it's a good question.
And you can't say a cable.
No, I don't know, man.
Like a phone charger, mobile phone, wallet. What must you have
with me?
Mm-hmm. It could even be Vivian.
Okay, my camera.
Your camera.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your hometown?
Istanbul.
Okay. Wait now. Need to take a note of these. So camera. And then we've got hometown is Istanbul.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's your favourite food?
It's okay. Let's say pasta.
Pasta.
Mm-hmm.
Favourite country?
Dominican Republic.
Okay. How do you relax when you're traveling?
Just taking sun.
Eh?
Just with taking sun, like tannin.
Tannin. All right,
Yeah.
okay. Relaxing.
Sunbath. I don't know how to say it.
What's your favourite song?
Say Miss Mess. It's a Brooklyn Funk Essential.
Miss Mess.
Miss Mess.
Mess.
Yes.
You can send me the link after.
Okay.
Your favourite drink?
Favorite whiskey.
Whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Favourite movie?
My favorite movie is Interstellar.
Okay, that's a good one.
Thank you.
Your favourite TV show?
My favorite TV show. I don't have any, actually.
Okay. That'll maybe catch it out. And how can you speak any other languages?
As English and a little bit Spanish.
English, Spanish, and Turkish.
Yes, after Turkey.
Right. Okay. Right. Bring her back.
Okay. Amor. Okay.
Hello?
Right. Are you ready for this?
I don't know.
Right. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 questions.
Holy cow. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So when Şahin travels, all right, what can he not travel without?
Without
Yeah.
the phone.
No.
Oh,
He
shoot.
said camera.
Oh, wow. That was the second important one. That's true. But the phone has a
Right.
camera. Can I bypass that?
All right. I'll give you that. Shahin's hometown.
Mm-hmm.
What's his hometown?
Oh, Istanbul.
One. No, I suppose I gave you the first one, so 2 out of 2.
Ha.
What's his favourite food?
Oh, that's difficult. Because you eat everything. I don't know. Pasta?
Oh, 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Favourite country?
Dominican Republic.
4 out of 4. I think even I would have got that one right.
Mm.
So how does he like to relax when he's travelling?
I don't know. That's an interesting question. Cigarette? Music?
No.
I don't know.
Chilling on the sunbed, he says, taking in the rays.
Right.
So first one wrong. Right, so the next one is, what's his favourite song?
Ooh. That's a whole sea of music. This is unfair. Your favorite song? Ay.
I just listened to it.
Miss Mess.
Oh, she got it.
Miss Mess.
What's his favourite drink?
Whiskey.
Another one.
Yeah.
Favourite movie?
Ooh, I have. Favorite movie? Damn. Sorry. I'm in trouble there.
5, 4, 3,
I don't know.
2, 1. Go. Now or never.
No, I don't know what it was.
No. Interstellar.
Oh, I should have known.
Favourite TV show?
Alter Carbon. I know, Survivor.
Nope. He said he's not got any.
I know.
What happened? You were doing so well.
Yay!
And last question:
Mm.
Can he speak any other languages, and what are they? If he can.
I mean, he can speak obviously Turkish. He can speak English, and he says no, but he can speak Spanish a little bit.
Oh, 3 out of 3.
Mm.
Right, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10. That's a pretty good score.
That's not bad.
That's a good score. So, listen, guys, I just want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast today.
Oh, thank you.
Again, I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day to come and speak to me. So why don't you tell everyone that's listening where they can find all your social media outlets, your Instagram, if you've got Twitter, everything like that. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find all your your social media handles?
Well, James, thank you very much for having us. It was really, really fun to have this fun conversation. For all of you outside, you can follow us on Instagram at CountryDiggers, at La Ruta de la Rola, at Şahin, Şahin Kamshi. Also, Facebook, we have Facebook, the same names, and we hope to see you soon in social media and interact.
Perfect. So if everyone can head over there and give them a wee follow. All the links to all their content will be in the descriptions below. So you guys can send that over to me and I can make sure it's in there. But listen, again, thank you very much for coming. And while you are there, please remember to listen or subscribe to the Static Traveller podcast. You can follow us on Instagram, or you can follow me on Instagram, sorry. Or both of us on Instagram, as well as my guests. Sorry, I was being very selfish there. You can follow us all on Instagram. I've also got a Facebook page and a YouTube account. If you want to feature on the Static Traveller, drop me a direct message and we can sort that out. But listen, and also I just want to say, it's complete coincidence, but Vivian is my 1000th Instagram follower.
I know, I saw that. Yeah.
Amazing. So we are actually doing a giveaway with Life Less Ordinary, who are a personalised jewellery company. So please remember and that's my little girl in the background. Yeah, so we're doing an Instagram giveaway with Life Less Ordinary for 1000 followers. So please remember and enter that. You guys as well enter. You need to just like both the pages and share and tag a friend. That you'd love to either give the bracelet to or keep it for yourself, but just tag a friend to let them see it as well, so they've got the chance to win it. But no, guys, listen, thank you very much for coming on the podcast today. Again, I can't thank you enough. It's been a pleasure speaking to yourselves. It's been brilliant having my first travel couple on. Hopefully the first of many, and we'll definitely need to get you guys back on in the future once everything's back up and running again.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'll need to get Şahin to send me some simit. It's my favourite.
Simit. Just give us your address.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen.
Some simit and some baklava.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you are in the address. Don't you worry.
We'll make it happen.
Really, I can make the baklava. Simit, maybe, but baklava I can do. Don't you worry about that.
So I'll look forward to that. But listen, guys, thank you very much for coming on. And again, thank you to everyone that's listening. Again, thank you as well for 1000 followers on Instagram. But listen, thanks for coming on. You keep travelling. And until the next time, I'll stay static. Thank you.